Hello all, my name is Krishnak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, we will be continuing the discussion with respect to Flask, and many people have also requested, Krish, can you start the Django playlist also parallelly? So from tomorrow guys, one video on Flask and one video on Django will be coming, so don't worry about it. And today in this particular video, we are going to see how we are going to build URL dynamically, and then we are also going to learn by two techniques. One is Flask variable rules and URL binding. So both the topics we'll try to cover in depth, but the major aim is that we will be building the URL dynamically, and sometimes it becomes very much necessary and important to do this. How it has to be done, I'll just tell you with very good examples when I start. Before that, let me just switch off my video so that you'll be able to focus on the session. Perfect. So let's proceed and let's try to discuss about it. And when we are discussing about it, we'll make sure that guys will try to learn it in a much more better way, because that is very much important. Learning things in a better way is very much important. So let me take some examples and let me quickly do it. So first of all, let me just little bit zoom in and try to give some how do you create a Flask app? Very simple. First of all, I'll import from Flask, import Flask class, and then obviously we create our object of the Flask where we give our underscore name, because this is where the starting point is. And I can also give my condition if underscore name underscore is double equal to underscore main underscore. I'm just going to say app.run, and here I'm just going to keep debug is equal to true. That's it, right? This is very much good. Now, as usual, first of all, let's take a very good example. I really want to create a very simple app.route. So guys, this app.route is actually a route decorator, where we will be basically creating our URLs. Suppose this will be my root URL, and the second parameter that we usually gives are methods like post or get, and that we'll be discussing as we go ahead. Here I'm just going to define my class, which is like welcome. Now inside this, I'm just going to print or return some kind of message saying that welcome to my YouTube channel. Very much simple, right? So here I'm just going to create this, and let's see whether it works fine or not. I hope so. We don't get any error, because this is the thing that we are doing continuously. Okay, we have got one syntax error. Let's see what is the syntax. The term. Okay, let me just have a look over here. Any syntax error as such? The term CLS. Okay, so let me just quickly clear the screen. Perfect. And let me write Python app.py. Perfect. So okay, single equal to. Now this is a bigger mistake that we usually do, but it's okay. When we make mistakes, we learn a lot, right? So now I'm just going to execute this one, Python app.py. Perfect. Our URL, let's see our URL, and when I go to my home page, it is basically showing us this where it is saying that, okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. Perfect. So I'm just going to show this, and now let's try to do some more things. Now, when the main topic that we are actually going to discuss is about building URL dynamically. Now this is very much important. How to build URL dynamically, we'll try to see. So let's take another app.route, and let's quickly, probably I just want to do something like this. So here I will be creating app.route, and I may just say that, okay, this is basically my function. I'm going to create my URL as /success, and this will actually, with this we are going to define a function which is like success over here, and this will probably take a kind of score. This score will be passed as in the terms in the URL itself, just like how we pass in the get request. But still, we have not discussed much about get request, but what I want to do is that the score will be passed along with the URL. So the score that is actually getting passed can be in the form of int format, right? So here I'm going to define score, and suppose this is in the int format, right? So usually we specify int. If I want to default provide any kind of parameters, this will be a string. So if I just write score like this will be treated as a string variable. Okay, but as usual, I want to provide an integer value. So here is how I provide the data type, right? So what I'm doing in this app.route is that this is a route decorator which is having /success as the URL, and I want to append some values over here. so that I will be able to retrieve this particular value. Okay, and what we can do is that we can write our own condition, right? So I can say return the person has passed and the marks is, right, I may define a function with plus and the score that I'm going to take it from here. And please make sure that you try to concat if you're concatenating. So I'm just going to use this string function, and here you have, right? So what we are actually doing over here, I've just created a simple route function with slash success, and here I can also provide our own parameters of values which we really want to check. This is one kind of building URL dynamically, and these things that we are using is called as rules, with the variable rules that are available in Flask. Similarly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this entire thing, and similarly for the same fail status also I'm going to put it, right? So this will also be taking a int score. The success will be changed to fail. Okay, the person has failed and the marks is str of score. Perfect. So this is the changes that I have done. I'm reloading the page. Now I'll go over here, I will just reload it. Okay, and let's see this. I'll pass, and here I'll give one value like for 55, and I'll just say the requested URL was not found if you entered. Okay, let's see what is the error. So slash pass, oh sorry, it is success, not slash pass. I written the wrong URL. So instead of pass, I'll make it success. Now you can see the person has passed and the marks is 55. If I go and see with fail, obviously we have to put less marks. If I put it, you can see the person has failed and the marks is 30 out of 100, right? So this is what we have actually done. And this is one way of actually building the URL dynamically. And this is called as variable rules. Okay. Now let's add one more functionality, guys. Let me do one thing, and let me create another app.route over here, where I will say that this is basically a function, or sorry, this is definitely a URL. So here I'll say slash score, and I will try to define this as my results, or instead of this, I'll also write it as slash results. Okay. Now in this results, what we do is that this is basically a result checker. I can just comment it down for you. So this is our result checker. Now what we want to do in this result checker is that we are just giving a score over here, and we really need to compare this score, whether the score is right or not. Okay. So how do we compare? Suppose if I say if score is less than 50, right? And I'll define a variable. The variable name will be results, or I can say result, and this will be blank initially. And here I will just say that result is pass or fail. So if it is less than 50, I'll say it is a fail. Else I will say it as, else the result will be actually, okay, result will be actually pass. Okay, or I can say it as success. Anything, it's up to you, right? Now we have done this, and let me instead of printing the result, I'll just say return result, right? Now what we are actually doing over here is very, very simple, guys. Very, very simple. We have created a new URL slash results where we are giving this number, and it will just go and check whether the score is less than 50. If it is less than 50, it is going to print fail. Otherwise it is going to print success. So let's go and try to do it quickly. So here, now just remember the URL, guys. What is the URL in this particular case? It is nothing but slash results, right? So I am going to write slash results slash 45. So here you can see I'm getting the fail status, and obviously if I write 67, I'm getting the success status. Perfect. This is absolutely working fine. Now what I want to actually do is that understand if I'm actually creating a result page, the person who has passed, I really want to display a different page altogether for them, and the person who is failing, I want to show them a different page altogether, right? So how do we do that? So for that particular case, we use something called as URL_for. So let me just import two more libraries, guys. One is redirect, and that is also very much useful for for building the URL dynamically. So one is redirect. Redirect will make sure that it will redirect to some success page or fail page. Okay. And to create that URL dynamically, we'll be using this particular library, which is called as URL_for. Okay. Now let's see this. Okay. So I have imported two libraries, redirect and URL_for. Perfect. Now here I'm just going to comment out this particular line because I don't require it anymore. And what I'm going to do here, instead of writing return that specific result, I'm going to say redirect this to what I have to redirect. I'll just now create my URL. Now for this URL, we basically use two parameters. One is the location. Sorry, this is basically the redirect functionalities. If I talk about URL underscore for, this will be having two different parameters. One is which page you really want to call. So over here, obviously, it can be fail or success, whether these two pages are there or not. See, we have these two pages. Either we can go to success or we can go to fail. Okay. So I'm going to build this URL for it. So here I'm just going to write, it should go to result page. And along with this, I also have to send a parameter which is score, because here I'm sending this score, right? Score in both this particular functions, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say score is equal to whatever score I have actually got over here. So here you can see that I have got the score. I'm also passing score over here. In order to reduce the confusion, I'll mention this as marks. So let me just say if marks is less than 50 and this one, and here I'm going to assign the marks value. Okay. So what will happen is that now we are going to redirect. If the person has passed, it will go and redirect over here. Okay. If the person has passed, because over here this variable will be created, this result variable will be having success, this will be having the URL, and here I'm also passing the mask. So both these values are coming over here, which is perfectly fine. Now if the result is failed, then automatically dynamically the URL is actually created, right? Pretty much simple. Now why do we do this? Because understand, for different type of conditions we can display different pages. So here in the later stages, in the upcoming videos, and I'll be showing how you can integrate HTML also over here. Okay, HTML over here also, how you can integrate it. Okay, one basic way I'll just show you right now. So first of all, let's execute this. So I'm going to go over here. Okay, so let's try. Okay, so results of 56. Okay, if I execute it, I'm getting an error saying the result got an unexpected keyword marks. Don't worry, it is a very simple thing. So it had been score over here instead of this marks. Perfect. I think now it should work. It is not a problem. Okay, it happens, you know. So let me just now print this 67 again. So here you can see the person has passed and the marks is 67. Now what happened? It went over here. Obviously the status was success. Now it went to the success status over here in this particular URL, and it is printing the person has passed and the marks is this one. So guys, now let's go ahead and check the fail scenario also. So here I am actually going to use the same function, which is like this one, results. Okay, so I will say results. Okay, results /45. Now here you can see that it is automatically redirecting to fail, right? So the person has failed and the marks is 45. Pretty much amazing. And why do we do this? I told you, right, we can add HTML also. So here I can basically write something like this. You can also provide your entire HTML code over here, which is again not a good practice. So we basically create different HTML files that I'll be showing you in the upcoming videos. Probably this is my body. Okay, and I can also close the body over here. Okay, I hope everybody knows the simple basic HTML. And here I can say the result. I can basically put it in a header one. Okay, header one, and I can say the result is passed, something like this. That's it. So I'm making this specific changes. Now let's see whether it will work or not. So I am going to put over here as results as 56. Now here you can see the result is passed. Automatically the HTML is now been rendered, right? Now this, again, understand the main thing that we are trying to learn is over here building URL dynamically, which is pretty much important. And here right now, this is not a very good approach where you're putting the entire HTML. In the upcoming videos, I'll show how you can integrate the HTML along with CSS, along with JavaScript, everything, you know, as we go ahead. But just understand the main aim of the video was building URL dynamically. Why do we do this? Probably we want to show a different view, different page. Suppose our admin is trying to log in into a page, he should get a different access, different HTML page itself. If a normal person is actually logging into a website, he's not an admin, he should get a different view. So this is just a kind of example for you all. Please make sure that you subscribe the channel, and yes, I'll be coming up with more videos. In the upcoming videos, we'll see that how we can bind HTML with the Flask app. Please make sure that you subscribe the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you, one doll. Bye bye.